Hello, this video shares some insight on how it's difficult for everyone at times in their lives, and that it's okay to be struggling. It's okay to pick yourself up on a bad day and understand that we're all going through something. We can all start again fresh tomorrow. So just remember, every day when you're going into the world, everyone you meet is struggling with something, and it's hard to be you. It's hard to go through life with a positive attitude and deal with the things that happen to you every day and all the frustrations and difficult situations that you find yourself in. So this video is about being kind to yourself and understanding that it's hard for every one of us to go through the challenges of life. And it's a wonderful practice to learn to be kind and empathetic to people from all walks of life. So thank you for showing up. I hope you enjoy our video.
It's like a child, like exactly how you described, like things for Olivia sometimes, and she's like, I can't get this off, or blah, blah, and I'm like,
You like untie your shoe, right?
yeah, I'm
like
like,
the whole world is over because
just,
my cracker touched the
and I'm
applesauce.
so bad at being like, I bet that's really hard. I'm
It's
like,
hard.
really? You need to get it. Like,
No, it's hard to be 7.
I know,
Hard
but
to
like,
be 7.
I just am like, I think I've said to her, like, people are starving in the world and you're upset.
Such a mom thing to say.
So rude.
Children in Africa or whatever, like in the 70s,
starving.
all the children were wondering about the children in Africa. I know.
Darn it, becoming a mom really means.
It's hard, but it's hard to be 7, you know, and I tell you that sometimes it's hard to be 25 7 years in a row. It's really hard. I don't think that's the right math. I think I made you too old there, but it's hard to be your age. It's hard to,
it is. It's hard to be. It's just hard. Honestly, it's hard.
Just any.
It's hard to just be alive and be happy and be thriving because things are always going to go wrong. And I think the best person or the best version of yourself is going to be someone who can like be confident within who you are and move forward and just roll with the punches. As cliche as that sounds, like that's your option,
right?
You know, and if you can't do it, then then you can't do
then
it.
You stay home for a day and you wallow in your sadness, and that's okay too. You know, that's okay.
I never do that.
I cry only in the shower.
I cry only in the shower. I try
in the backyard and in my car and sometimes in my office and sometimes just in the kitchen.
I mean, I think everybody, if you can find something that, you know, like for you, like letting it out, I think is helpful and great for you. For me, if I'm like super upset and depressed or I'm having like a terrible day, if I force myself to go on a walk or take my bike somewhere, instantly within like 30 minutes, I feel less dramatic about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
Calm it down. I know. I've talked to other Fuchsias about the length of their depression.
Yeah.
And that it's good for you guys to be empathetic about sadness in others,
right?
Because it's not a place that you live, right?
No.
And so that's where like it takes a rainbow, you know, that's where like the respect of all the different places, because my sadness can hang on for a minute.
Yeah.
And I can be still like doing stuff, but it has its claws in me sometimes. And I think that other colors experience it differently. You know, I think each one of the colors has like its own experience. That's why we're doing the group on IMR, you know, the internal motivation relationship group, because we all have those different experiences. We all have we all experience anger. We all experience sadness. We all experience fear, and just how long we stay there, how quick we are to it, and how that expresses is so different. And what I found in studying the system for so long and developing the system for so long is there's solace in knowing that even though you and I don't experience it the same, there's a tendency for me to compare myself to you. Right. Why can't I just cheer myself up like Gia?
Right.
Why can't I just laugh and go outside and take a walk and feel better? What's wrong with me? Right? And that tendency leads to some negative, you know, self-talk that can be really destructive. And what I think is so profound about the system is now I can say, okay, I found another green and they have that same thing that I do. And now I know that it's okay to just cry more than most people, or be more sensitive than most people, or get too big for my britches, you know, and be like a little know-it-all. You know, it's, those things are okay. And I'm never going to be like Gia, and that's okay.
Right.
You know, and that strength.
The same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone feels it. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. But that strength that I found, that like self-love and self-care of that little 5-year-old Cassie, you know, who just wants love and care, and to be supportive and to feel valuable, that if I can be nice to that little green little girl, then I have more strength to be kind to you,
right,
be kind to my husband when he drives me crazy, or my teenager when they act, you know, nuts, or the little kid who throws the entire bucket of peas on the ground that you just spent 3 hours, you know, hand pureeing. Like that it's hard to be 7, you know, it's hard to be Fuchsia sometimes. And that kind of, I think if we could bring that, if we could do one thing and bring that to the world, that understanding to the world, there's a lot of peace in that.
If you could bring people to a table that will acknowledge that they have flaws and that they accept it and are aware of it and can acknowledge it, is huge. You know, I mean, even, you know, for me, being so impulsive to have fun and like dropping things that are responsibilities just to go ride my bike with my friends because I know I'm going to like love that and have so much fun and it's going to create a memory and living in the now and blah, blah, blah. And then I come home and I'm angry as shit because the house is a mess, or the laundry's not done, or I can't cook dinner because it's too late, or whatever the case.
Right.
Or I've hurt somebody's feelings because I canceled on them so that I could go hang out with these people because I thought I'd have more fun. Like, the repercussions of being so impulsive is massive. And knowing that I do that and I'm aware of that behavior and trying, even if I were capable of not doing that 3 out of 10 times because I'm aware of it, is progress, you know, and making changes in it is progressive. And that's great. I mean, eventually, obviously, one day the hope is that, you know, you're this, you know, evolved perfect person, but the truth is I'll probably always cancel on coffee to go to the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we designed IMR system around the 9 archetypes of the Enneagram, and the Enneagram is very close to my heart, but I saw some holes and some gaps in it for me that were difficult. And the more they explained it to me and the more I had to learn, the more complicated it got, the more I felt like that was unnecessary.
Right.
So I wanted to just simplify that. You know, we added color to it with Molly, and she's a teacher, so her nature is to teach things and to create tools and to create systems in a classroom. So she had all those natural skills. So together we were able to just say, we're just going to pluck that out. We're going to use that and we're going to teach it that way. And I remember talking to one of the leading writers and authors and professors on the Enneagram. He's a neuropsychologist, David Daniels. And I said, I was like, I don't know, a year into the system, I'd been to a couple of conventions, conferences, and I was like, I walk up to him after stage, that same like, hey teacher, right? That same like giddy, like educational person that I like to be, that comes naturally. And I said, I just don't know how to get rid of my like 2-ness, because I'm a 2 in the Enneagram. So now would be my green. I don't know how to get rid of this greenness. And he looked at me because he's, you know, like a 65 to 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know why you would want to. And I was like,
Great answer.
Because of all the negative stuff. You just told me all this stuff about myself. I just learned from these other greens, like all this stuff about myself that I want to get rid of. And now you're saying like, why would you? And he goes, well, no, it's to soften the parts that don't serve you, right? And to strengthen the parts that you have natural power with. Right? So I'm never going to not be green, but I can be more fuchsia sometimes. I can live in the moment sometimes. I can be more aggressive like a red sometimes. I can be more organized like a teal sometimes.
I'll
Good job.
call you later.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Be nice to the little Gia on the inside.
I'm trying. She's quite annoying.
She's little.
She's so little.
To be on the inside.
It's